All right. All right. Happy Thursday, everybody. I am Siera London, along with my wonderful co-host, author Loren. We are Women on Words. Hey, Lisa. And
Hi.
this evening, we have our special guest, author, coach. Oh, my goodness. She's got so much going on. Publishing powerhouse, Julia A. Royston. Julia, we are so happy to have you with us tonight.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Yes, now I'm going to
Welcome.
read your bio just in case you're new to our audience, just so they'll know a little bit about you. So, Julia Royston is an author, publishing, and motivational speaker born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky. Julia is the oldest of three daughters in a Christian family and is married to Mr. Brian K. Royston. Julia earned a BA in accounting. She has two master's degrees in information science and a doctorate in religious education from, Bellarmine. Am I saying that right, Julia?
Right? Bellman.
University, the University of Kentucky, Spalding University, Grace Bible College. It goes on and on. Julia is a public elementary school computer technology teacher and a media specialist by profession. All right. That is a life well run right there. Lots of accomplishments. I don't even know where to start, Julia, but what I'm going to ask you first is tell us what you want to talk about tonight as far as just, I'm coming at you from a coaching standpoint, as far as how to live your best life right now.
You have to be, well, first off, thank you so much for having me. It's always an honor and privilege when I get to talk about books and life and living and all the things that I do, but just to encourage people to be their best self, to be all
Yeah.
that they can be. Especially since we've gone through a phenomenon,
Yeah.
a global pandemic. I think one of the biggest things is kind of making a 3 item list of
Mhm.
exactly what are the 3 things that I really need to be doing. Now, paying bills, family, and all that, that's a given. Worship, that's a given. But after that, where should I be going? What can I actually be working on right now at this moment? What can I get accomplished? What do I need to be moving to
Mhm.
get accomplished? What is long overdue? What have I been procrastinating to do
Yeah.
for a long length of time? So therefore, getting move on because life is short. It's really, really short.
Mhm.
And it is not here for us all. I mean, given the loss and that's not to minimize people that have passed away before. My father passed away when I was in 2010. So it's not like people have
Yeah.
not been passing away, but
Yeah.
not
Right.
like this on this magnitude. So determine what is my best life? What should I be doing? And what pieces of that? Because you may not be able to quit your job and do all of that. No, that's unrealistic. But what little piece can you do? Can you
Yeah.
just go live, or can you just put a motivational encouragement graphic once a week? What small steps can you make toward being a full-time coach and author and business owner? Because I've done bivocational. I know what that's like. I know where I
Yeah.
want to be, but I know what I have to do right now. I have debt. I have this. I have a mortgage. I have a car note and things that you want. But there are some things that even if you can't be all out doing, that there are small steps that you can be taking to
Yeah.
then get to where you want to go.
Okay. Now y'all see I'm all up in her coaching head. I'm getting this for free, y'all, because y'all know she normally charge. We'll get to that later.
I'm retired too, for not for real though.
But I love everything that you said about making your priority list and getting those 3 things. Like there's so much that's coming at all of us, but narrowing it down to those 3 things. But what do you say? And I'm asking for myself, if you are struggling just to even stop everything from spinning in your head. I don't know if you felt any of that over the last 12 months, 14 months or whatever, but how do you cope with that? What do you say, when you have your coaching hat on to your clients?
Well, I mean, you eventually have to, there was a movie and a line from it was, I can't think of all that. And that's really a moot point, but it was a baseball movie. Anyway, he said, clear the mechanism. And it would basically shut out everything, all the noise of the fans in the stands so that he could focus on what he was doing. And so sometimes that focus and that clearing the noise, clearing the mechanism, eliminating some things is as simple as taking, like I tell people, take a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and go down to the nearest river or creek and sit on a park bench and with a notebook and pen and a bottle of water. That's inexpensive. You didn't travel anywhere, but it gets you out of your house, away from your television. Even if you leave your cell phone in the car, you need to sometimes be in different spaces, different places so that you can think clearly.
Yeah.
If you have small children, get your mama to watch the kids, take them by Big Mamas, whatever has to happen so that you can get a half an hour or an hour to yourself to be able to clear the mechanism, because there's always going to be something somewhere that's going to be pulling at you. And if you don't, you won't. And it'll be 6 months. It'll be a year. It'll be another year. And you'll look up and those same babies that you needed to have Big Mama sit with for a year will be done. They'll be going across the stage, graduating, getting come in. It's time for little Bobby, little Johnny, Laquita to go across the stage. And you would not have sat for an hour to figure out what you want your life to look like in a year, what you want it to look like in 3 or 5 years.
You are so right. I like that so resonates with me. Right before we got on this call, Julia and I were talking before we went online, and my son sent me a text message with a certificate saying he had been promoted to E7 in the Air Force.
Oh yeah.
And I'm
congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. And I'm like, wow, like, has it been that long? Like, has he climbed that high in the organization? And I'm just so proud of him. But, we haven't seen him in almost 2 years now. And I'm like, life does march on, like you said. And before you know it, time has passed and like all these accomplishments has happened, successes and challenges. So that is so true. You have to take time out to appreciate right where you are. And that getting away to the river, that self-care has become even more important. I totally agree.
I mean, everybody can't fly a private jet to Paris or Rome and all that.
Oh yeah, I can't
need
do
a villa for that.
Yeah.
I don't need a villa for that. I need, just a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in a creek, or just go outside and walk around the block. Whatever it takes for you is what needs to happen. And it has to be on your level and in your time, but you still have to do it. What self-care looks like for you and comparing it to some celebrity on Instagram is two different things. And you can't, you can't knock the level that you're on. You just have to do what you have to do to move your life forward, not compare yourself with other people.
Absolutely. Lisa, I'll get going.
Now, to continue that line of questioning, there are a lot of times where the older generation has a generational curse. And like my mom, and I know her mother before her, they didn't take time for self-care, which is a big thing now in society. Yeah. So, our older ladies need to do that too. How do you encourage the older ladies to get out of that mindset of push, 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 always going, always on, and just take time out and sit down and relax?
I had to do it for my mother because she's like that. Oh, what do you need? What do they need? What do they do? Oh, and I don't. And sometimes you, as the younger person, have to almost kidnap the older person.
That's
and
it.
Take them. You just have to kidnap them. You just have to say, all right, I'm picking you up at 11:30 and we're going to eat at a different restaurant.
That's it.
And it's not a buffet, and it's not, and they may have linen napkins and real forks. And sometimes you just have to show them something different. Now, my mother doesn't have she's all about, oh, and I went and this wake and I missed that funeral. No. But sometimes you have to do that. So then sometimes you have to say, all right, not only am I getting my nails done, I'm getting Big Mama's nails done too at the same time. Yeah. Or aunties, or you're going to have to introduce them because they feel like sometimes that it's a waste of money. And I got that in that coffee can and I'm saving it for a new girdle or whatever they buying. And so sometimes you have to say, keep that money in that girdle, whatever, the house shoes or whatever you're buying, that's fine. It's on me. And even if it's something a little bit more pricey and you and some cousins or something else have to go in together, you got 20, I got 20, you got 20 on it. And we all go together to take Big Mama somewhere because she might not be here a long time.
Yeah.
She may not be here always. Yeah. So sometimes the convincing and come on. No, you just pay for it and you put them in the car and you kidnap them and you take them and it will surprise you how much they enjoy it. Oh my gosh, I never would, and then you don't tell them how much it was. Don't tell them don't tell them nothing about that because they'll be like, child, why you spin out? Don't do none of that. But sometimes you have to do it for them, that convincing, because that's a totally different generation. And in some cases, it may be a curse, but some things are just passed down from generation. And it's not really bad. That's the way women were supposed to be. That's the way they were supposed to live. That's what they were supposed to, how they were supposed to be. Mm-hmm. And so with our generation, like, stop. We had to stop it. And so sometimes you have to do that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's so interesting that you say that because I can remember, well, I'll say two things. One, my grandmother, who's no longer with us, but I can remember when I went to go visit, and she likes to cook. She wasn't the best cook. I'm gonna put that out there, but she liked to cook when we came, and I said, Grandma, I'm gonna take you out. And she's like, no, I'm not dressed for it. Cause they have to dress, So I said, we're going to go to someplace simple. We went to Panera, and you are so right about the price. She got there and she saw the price and she's like, for a sandwich? For a salad?
Oh gosh. Yes. Tell me one more time. I can make that at the house. Don't need to do
That's exactly what she said. And you know what she ordered? Peanut butter and jelly, because it's the cheapest thing on the menu. Because she's like, I don't want to spend all your money. And I said, promise I saved for it. But I can remember that. And the kidnapping thing, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Even to this day with my mom, if I go home, she'll want to cook every day. And I'm like, Mom, I'm coming to pick you up at this time because I know you won't have enough time to get anything out of the refrigerator.
Right.
And we are going out, just the two of us.
Or something out in the freezer. You know how they are. They still freezing. Mm-hmm. Oh, we can freeze that. We can keep that. Oh, no, you can freeze.
Yes.
We ain't thawing. Sorry. You didn't have time to thaw. Oh well.
Yes. And I love it. I love that you said it because it is so true that we just have to, like Lisa said, embrace everything they brought to the table, that work ethic that they taught us, that they instilled in us, but also realizing, we have to help them unplug and enjoy all the fruits of their labor, which is us. Yeah. We are a part of their legacy. Yeah. So we have to do that. Sorry, Lisa, I hijacked you.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah. To Kenya, hello, Gloria, Cammy Joe, we see y'all on the line. Thank you so much for joining us. And now, Julia, you know how fast time goes. So you're the author of 200 plus books.
No, I've written 60.
60.
I've published 300.
300 books because you have a publishing
people, 300 books, but I've written personally 60.
That's a lot of books.
Yeah.
That is a lot of books. Mm-hmm. Tell us how do you remain so prolific, and what are you working on right now?
Oh, wow. Well, I'm always working on something.
Uh-huh.
Well, first off, I do it because I love it. Mm-hmm. And then secondly, I do it because it's necessary. Mm-hmm. Some of the writings are specifically for business or answer questions specifically for coaching clients, etc. So when COVID hit and we couldn't go live events, and I'm getting ready to launch business in the digital, online, and virtual space. So that is really something that I had to really respond to, because even moving forward, vaccines and all of that, we still need to be in both places. We can't just say, oh, well, we'll scrap all that. No, you need your own online store. You need your own digital products. You need your own way to get money besides just waiting on royalties from Amazon. So that's kind of one of the avenues I'm working on business wise. This is my series, my romance fiction series. So we're getting ready for, at the time of this, for what I call the summer reading series. So I have written for women my age, 40s. I'll be 58 shortly. So in the 40s and 50s.
Okay,
Love
that's
and
our
romance.
age. Yes.
Yeah, our age. So
We're with you.
yeah, Jillian is like in her 40s, single, never been married, and has no children. Professional, pays her own bills, her own Mercedes. She don't need and lives in a high rise and the whole 9 yards. She just needs somebody to love her. Now, my covers on a publisher side, I wanted my covers to be hot. So these are actually married couples that are on these covers. So this is Jillian.
That's
and
beautiful.
Book 2. This is Vernice. This is Jillian's best friend. She's in her 40s too, but she's divorced with one son. So she's looking for love too. Has a lot of self-esteem issues because the ex-husband kind of really left her damaged as far as that, really kind of not seeing herself as beautiful, and but she's thin, and Jillian is, plus size girl. She still got it going on though.
That's
so
right.
I had to represent me in that, plus size girl. And then she's thin, but still sees herself as, I'm not that attractive. I'm not that pretty. I think I'm halfway smart, that whole the self-doubt thing. So that is that. And then book 3, so they're married. That's a married couple there. That's Dominique and her husband. And then so this is for the 60-some ladies. Okay. Now these are actually my in-laws. These are my husband's parents. Okay.
Wow.
I wanted an older couple, photogenic. I'm looking all around. I'm like, good Lord, what am I thinking? I got them right here, my in-laws. Here we go. So, but the story is, it's not my mother-in-law's story, but Irma is raised with 2 parents you would think would be wonderful, but they're not very loving, and they're not very encouraging, and they're not very, wonderful. But over the years, it spans the majority of her life until, she goes through love, grandmother, whatever. So get that one too. This is probably, of the 3, this is probably my ideal favorite, because I go from birth all the way until the end, and it ties all the loose ends from these other 2 as well. So this is Women of the Fellowship series. Let's take my church lady and my conference going, my convention spirit. It ties it all together, but there's always some backstories. When they come out in the hats and the shoes and the bag to match, there's always not necessarily a great home life, or so that's that. And if you're looking at us live stream, solo.to/Julia A. Royston is where everything is.
Look at you jumping ahead.
Giving away. That's where my and then those are the links to all these books in the Kindle version. They're all 99 cents.
Awesome.
So if you're in the Kindle, they're 99 cents. And then there's links to my store, and everything's there. And I have 2 giveaways on there too as well. So if you're into business, or, plan B for living your best life. So really, I'm that was really kind of, those 60 books are primarily responses to, what's going on and what I need, and what my clients want and what they need. So when a question comes up, I'm doing a video on it. It may turn into a book. It may just be a video series, and it may be an on-demand course, whatever. So I just have a wonderful husband who knows that I'm a creative. So I'm creating every day. So that's
Yes.
just, it's what I love and what I enjoy. I'm just a creative. So that's
Yeah,
why.
and that's a blessing. Lisa, that's something we talk about all the time, having that support system in the house and
Yeah.
how important that is to feed your creativity. You agree, right, Lisa?
Definitely.
Yeah, I
Well,
I
mean,
but
couldn't
it
do
has
it
to be
without
a
my
balance.
support.
Yeah.
yes,
But you have to have a balance though, because as much as
yes.
I like to create, when it's dinner time, we try to eat dinner together. When it's,
Mhm.
and then we try to hang out, date nights on the weekend. And then speaking of kidnapping, I'm subject to say, okay, I need to get out of these four walls. I'm gonna kidnap my husband and take him, and we get in
Yes,
the car and just drive 100 miles away. It doesn't even have to be that far.
we
And
do the
spend a couple
same.
nights and then go back and we're refreshed and walk along a river or just eat peanut butter and jelly with a picnic and see a different perspective and then get back on that horse and get it done some more.
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing that I love about what you said when you were going through your series is how you pull from real life situations. You said what your clients need and what you need, and then you fictionalize it.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to ask you, do you have your clients found that therapeutic as well? I know it's therapeutic for us as writers, as creatives, to
Right.
get all that energy onto the page, but have you got any feedback from your clients on
Oh
it?
my Lord. These are just primarily for my readers. Now, my
Yes.
fiction books incorporate, I prayed and I asked God, I said, I don't know anything about fiction because I primarily have written devotionals and inspirationals and all that sort of thing and nonfiction. And so I wanted to write a fiction series. And he said, take your own love story and,
Ah,
expand on that. So that's what that is. But it does speak to, especially that 40 something and over lady. Or
mhm,
the lady who's retired, or the lady who's a widow, or the lady who's a
mm,
grandmother, or the lady who really it wasn't just an amicable divorce. It
yeah,
was heart wrenching, and so many things happened that it made them emotionally and spiritually, and sometimes even professionally, and definitely
depleted.
financially
Yeah.
depleted and
Yes.
scarred and everything else. So, being able to see that is really, really helpful on that wise. So yeah, it really
Yeah.
helps on a whole lot of means and a whole
Yeah.
lot of areas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I can
Well,
see that.
your fellowship series, I have to ask because the covers, the first cover was kind of a little steamy, a little bit, just a
Oh
little bit.
yeah, that's
And
sexy.
you
Oh yeah,
said
Yeah.
yeah. But that's
the
them. That's
couples are
that's
married.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They married. They married. They just
So
had a beautiful little baby.
right,
Huh?
how steamy does the actual book get on the interior?
Ooh, now, you
Because they
know
are
what?
married couples, so hey,
Yeah, well, but see, they're not married. They single people. So it gets pretty
okay,
steamy in there. But let me just let you in on a little secret.
Uh-huh.
So I do write under a pen name. Cadence Royal is my pen name.
okay,
Okay.
That's real steamy.
okay.
So
Okay.
if you go to that link and it says Royal Media and Publishing, and you see like, a caricature, ta-da! Yeah. Cadence Royal, they take it to the next level.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I
Uh,
write too many children's books and all that. They like, so I had to separate my brands. So BK
yes.
Royston Publishing is what is my faith-based, family-friendly brand, and Royal Media and Publishing is everything else of quality that I really want to publish.
Okay.
So yeah, it's pretty steamy, but yeah, Jillian, yeah, he's pretty sexy. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
sexy cover.
yeah. They good. They did that. They did that. Woo-wee, they did that cover. I'm like, yes. Because you don't, when but of course it took a little bit more because it was an actual photo shoot. So
Yeah.
it was they live in Nashville. The other two couples live near me in Louisville. So I had to drive nearly 400 miles round trip to get it. But when we got that shot, oh yeah, it was hot.
Yeah.
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 It was worth it. It was worth
Very hot.
every mile. It was worth it because I had something in my mind. I'm like, if I'm gonna go launch out in the deep like this, I want it hot. I
Yeah.
want the covers to be all that in the bag of chips, and I don't want look like mannequins touching, like they
Yes.
do in the stock photos. I was like, no, I won't. No.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And was the father? I'm sorry, Sierra. Was the
No, go
father-in-law a preacher? I have to ask that because he gives
Your
me preacher vibes on that cover.
Which one?
Your father, the
father-in-law.
one that features
Oh
your
yeah,
in-laws.
he pastored for 30 years, and
can
then
see- I
he's
can see
now
it.
oh yeah. So if you ask about Reverend Claude Royston in Louisville, Kentucky, he was the pastor at Greater Salem Baptist Church for 30 years, and then he was on staff at St. Stephen, and then now he's in his 80s, and he's still a hospice chaplain. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Papa can go, and he's got a
It's
voice out
all
of
over
sight.
him.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
can see
Yes.
yeah.
it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes. I
Oh, can't you
agree.
see? As they say, can't you see First Lady? Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes.
All day, every day. All day, every day. Yeah. So I'm married to a PK, and my family are all preachers, and my dad was the head deacon, and my mother was over the missionary department. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's all about we
Okay.
PKs all day long.
All right. So I have to ask, were you conflicted at all about writing romance and sharing that with your family?
As far as my family is concerned, I have to be honest, and I'm going to speak to the actual writer who says my family doesn't support what I do. Well, my family supports what I do, but they don't necessarily buy my books, and I'm fine with that. They tell other people, they share it, they promote me in that way. My mother thinks, I hang the moon and stars. That's my mama. It doesn't matter. But I think more than anything else, they support what I do. So that's a good thing. So they know it's there. Even my husband knows it's there. But as far as being avid readers, no. But avid supporters, of course. Now, my readers who do read it, they love it. They leave me voicemail messages, the whole 9 yards. So that's the reason why I'm kind of on as they say, a tour for my fiction, relaunching it again and introducing it to new audiences who didn't know. They're like, we know she publishes, we know she writes, but she does fiction too. She does fiction too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's wonderful. And I like the way you said it, because I think sometimes that's the situation in a lot of our families. Like you said, they are very supportive, but that looks different ways, right? That doesn't mean that someone who's a non-reader or, not a romance reader is just going to start reading the books just because it's me. Yes, sometimes that happens, but not always. And that's okay.
And that's fine. And that is okay. So don't make them feel bad. Like my mother-in-law, she buys all my books. Okay, now I want the children's books. I'm going to send that to, they got kids. And I want the romance fiction. I'm going to send that over. I mean, that's how she supports. And I'm over the moon. Mom, what do you want to send? And this is what I got out now. Okay, good. That'll be time for Christmas. And she's good. I'm good too. And so I'm fine with that. But people have to understand that promotion piece of writing is a real place. And you've got to be really committed to it because there are avid, ravenous readers out there.
Yes.
So that you've got to find them and support and make sure that you're providing a quality literature for to meet that, especially that romance fiction appetite. So, and leave your family members alone. Because I get people all the time who, I was referred by your cousin. I was referred by, and you know what? I send them a message and tell them thank you and I love you. They may never buy my book, and I'm cool with that. I am fine with that because that doesn't mean they don't support me anymore or love me any less. That just means they may not be readers, and I'm cool with that. You can't make people what they're not.
Yes. So. Yes. Yeah. I love that. So before we wrap up, Lisa, any final questions?
No final questions. I just appreciate all your wisdom that you dropped on us today. And I will be thinking about the self-care and making sure I'm going to get my peanut butter jelly sandwich and go.
That's right.
Peanut butter jelly sandwich. That's one of my favorite things. And really, remember, this is the life we've been given. This is it. And I know we're looking for the afterlife and heaven and all of that, but we've got to occupy till he comes and gets us, whether we die in the grave or whether he comes and raptures us. We still have an obligation for the gifts, talents, and abilities he's put down in us because somebody needs what we have. Somebody
right.
wants what we have. But if we're sick, if we're ill, if we're immobile, if we don't feel well, we're not able to give and do and be our best selves. So
Yeah.
that's a part of that whole self-care. I realize selfish starts with self, but self-care and selfish are two different things. Totally
Yes,
different things.
yes, yes, very much so. So, in our final minutes, Julia, can you tell us, do you have any events coming up, whether they're in person or online, that you want to share with our audience?
I'm always right now. I am participating in the Black Child book tour. I have a broadcast every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Live Your Best Life, ironically, on envision-radio.com. And just go ahead and start following me on social media because I'm always having events. I have a fiction panel coming up this Monday, May 17th, with 4 other fiction authors that I published to really not just talk about their books, but to also talk about their journey and encouraging other people to write fiction. So I'm kind of doing a summer reading series. So follow me on social media. I go live every Sunday morning at 9:30 before my show. And then on Mondays, I'm really big introducing somebody, some topic, something to help people live their best life.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for joining us, for sharing your wisdom with us,
Thank
like
you.
Lisa said. And I hope that we will see you again
Oh,
on
most
the
definitely.
show.
Yes,
All,
please.
all right. All right, ladies. Until next time, be amazing, be fantastic, be wow. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you so much for joining us.